Touchstone conducted a payday payroll symposium on the 14th of November 2023. Amongst the speakers was Dr. Zack, who talked on budget, payroll, and current tax challenges. He emphasized on the exchange rates challenges and how the minister was working tirelessly to address those challenges.
We are closing the year on two serious challenges: exchange rate challenges and currency challenges, all of which you know about. Expectations are high that the minister will look at these because these have got an effect and they are actually affecting the way that we do business.
He also mentioned that the government had no intentions of dollarizing.
Government have said, and in no uncertain terms, this economy will not dollarize. 2024, we will continue on a Zim dollar foreign currency basket scenarios. Reality on the ground, yes, might be different. As we speak, about 83.7% of all transactions in the economy are in US dollars. And other people will then literally just say, why don't you simply dollarize? Ladies and gentlemen, there are serious consequences of rushing to a dollarization program.
Dr. Zack also highlighted the implications of dollarizing on pensioners.
A sudden movement, there will be a colossal loss of value on pensions to the employees. Let's not forget, let's look back at 2009 when we dollarized pensions. All those employees were served the organizations, your companies, for 20-30 years. They lost their pensions.
He also mentioned the need to revisit the corporate remuneration strategy in line with the use of a multi-currency system.
So there is need to revisit corporate remuneration strategies, because it's important for me to give you this so that you understand the impact on personal tax. You can only strategize the impact of PAYE and personal tax, understanding initially what government is taking you through and in terms of the requirements of what government, the macroeconomic fundamentals, we must always thoroughly understand those.
He looked at the foreign currency shortage challenges.
So we continue to have challenges pertaining to availability of foreign currency.
Dr. Zack also advised on not doing things that would invite ZIMRA and avoid tax exposure areas.
This is what we term in consultants tax exposure areas. Avoid those. Check thoroughly in terms of what you have. How many casuals, contract employees did you not put through the payroll?
Dr. Zack spoke on the benefits of terms.
Now, with the introduction of terms, the acceleration rate in terms of ITF 16 will now be done monthly, which I think will be very good. It enables us to really do those things correctly.
He gave his 3 tips for tax for year end.
Number 1, check your tax accumulatives. Number 2, identify special payments that you made throughout the year. This includes retrenchments, packages, big amounts that you paid inside and outside the payroll. Are you going to be able to configure them? And then lastly from me, in terms of those checks, cash payments that you've made to casuals, contract employees. Do you have a list? Are you ready?
He also gave terms that you must understand.
In situations where you do manual computations, make sure at the next payroll run, you put them through the payroll.
He also highlighted on the need to understand tax issues, have soft copies, and highlight critical issues.
I think for people that are here, it's mandatory to have that pack where you have got your soft copies of the Income Tax Act, the Finance Act as amended, VAT Act, and more importantly, the ZIMRA notices.
Dr. Zack also talked about the grossing up concept.
But if you are a profit-making company, and especially with the introduction of terms, You can now classify that cost, that extra cost of grossing up, and apply it in terms of Section 15 of the Income Tax Act as an allowable deduction, which you put as a cost in your financials. There are so many other issues I could have covered on personal tax. Expectations, change of minimum tax thresholds, those are obviously because of inflation. Zimbabwe has adopted a blended inflation approach, so you will see two types of graphs, a blended inflation graph, an RTGS graph, and a US dollar graph. I will leave it up to you. You are feel free to contact us. Feel free to contact me should you need any advice. That brings an end to my presentation.